What's good, everybody? I'm happy as hell. I finished all my academic obligations. I've done all my master's exams. I've done all my fucking interviews. I'm ready to do what I was meant to do, is glaze the flyweight division in the UFC. Nah, man. Today we're gonna be talking about something that I've actually had on my mind. You know, this half-naked man's been on my mind for the last couple months. We need to see Mokaev back in the UFC. I feel ever since I saw him fight Mokaev, and I saw, his tape, I watched back some of his fights, I saw all that, I was thinking like, oh, this guy's pretty good, He got cut. It seemed to me like, oh, that's kind of crazy, whatever, but I didn't really care about it at that point. Like, at that point, I was like, all right, he's gone, whatever. He leaves the UFC. The flyweight division is now getting super active. We have Joshua Van, Alexander Pantoja. We have all these guys fighting at the top. And Mokaev, with all he's doing outside, I'm like, yo, this guy might actually be the best flyweight. And he's not even in the fucking in the UFC, the division you're supposed to be if you're one of the best MMA fighters. So now we're gonna go over like what's up with him, what's going on, and why I think he should be back in the UFC. All right, let's start with why he left in the first place. That Mokaev fight was buns, bro. I can't even lie. I like Mokaev. I love his fighting style. We're getting to that later. But that fight was fucking dog. In the press conference, in the weigh-ins, at the fucking face-offs, they were throwing shit. It was looking like, oh man, I think this was the co-main, right, to some kind of big event. It was maybe numbered or a fight night, but it was given, I think, the 5 rounds. Like, these guys were given a long time to go at it. It was looking like it was gonna save the flyweight division. These two guys, going at it. Gets to the fight, pitter patter at range. Frequent fouling, motherfucker starts grabbing the cage, guys getting like maybe one takedown around each, and it goes down to the wire. Look at these guys, they're barely even sweating, none of them are bleeding at the end. Dana White's bald head ass was mad as fuck in the press conference, was like, yeah, we're gonna kick Mokaev out. I don't give a fuck that he won, whatever. I mean, there was like some fights backstage. The fight itself was so boring and it was all hyped up. It was all like, I get why Dana White did it. Should he have done it? Should he have cut a fighter that's 16-0? Probably not, but I understand this. I see the vision. But now let's get into why I think he deserves to come back, why he's made his redemption. First and foremost, obviously, we got to talk about this guy is undefeated in the flyweight division against great competition. It's not like this guy has that Khabib, 30-fight win streak against jobbers. No. This guy, Mokaev, has been out here doing... This guy, Mokaev, has been out here putting in that work. When he was in the UFC from 2022 to 2024, he fought all these guys on the screen that you see, and all of them are real people. This is not some 40 overall, gray shirt if you play NBA. Like, these are not some random generated fighters. Cody Durden, Charles Johnson, Energy, knocked out Kavanaugh, knocked out fucking the champ, Joshua Van, Malcolm Gordon, Rafael Filho, Tim Elliott. Again, this guy just now left the rankings. He's been ranked for like 11 years or 13 years. Alex Perez, he fought, who did he fight recently? He fought someone recently. I think he actually had he won recently. Alex Perez, he's doing pretty good. And Mokaev, obviously his last fight. And Mokaev, we see how he's doing. This guy's motherfucking cooking. He's up next for the belt. Whether he's gonna fight Van, whether he's gonna fight Pantoja, we have to see what matchup the UFC makes next. But this guy's 16-0, and he's done it against great guys. Like, this is not no jobber level competition. This is high level competition. Another thing, he's super entertaining. These are not just all decisions. Right? You see the beard, you see the name, you see the name Muhammad, whatever. You might think, yeah, this guy's gonna wrestle fuck people to decision. He can do that. He can do that if he wants to, right? He can Movsar Evloev his way to a decision. But he has a 63% finish rate in his career. And out of his last fights, he's finished a lot of them. Especially the ones he's had outside the UFC, of course, against lesser competition. But man, arm triangle choke against Tim Elliott, jiu-jitsu specialist. Rafael Filho, also a good jiu-jitsu guy, rear naked choked him. Right, Charles Johnson decisioned him, but that was a great fight. He had a guillotine choke against Cody Durden. Like, he's done really, really good work. The head kick we see against the Gerald Burns fight, I believe that was that highlight that went crazy all over the internet, where he question mark kicked him and then left hook in the same breath, and the guy just fell like a bag of bricks. 63% finish rate at flyweight, which I believe is a less than 50% rate overall, considering all the fights. That's really good. That's a really good finish rate. This guy's entertaining, like objectively an entertaining fighter, especially at flyweight. And not only is Mokaev entertaining as fuck, he's also a dog, dude. I've seen him finish 2 times, or almost finish 2 times, Once against Armin Sarukian, I actually watched that one live, saw him get choked unconscious. Like, that's a dog, bro. That guy went up fighting a guy who's 45 pounds heavier than him, right? He was on, like, what, how many days' notice? Like a week's notice, 2 weeks' notice? Went up, fought Armin Sarukian, got choked. Motherfucker went unconscious, man. No fear in his heart. He just let that shit go. You see in the replay of the fight, he just sticks his arm out and just like lets the darkness envelop him. If you guys have ever gotten put to sleep, you know how it'd be. And then again, another fight in the UFC, similar to Movsar Evloev against Diego Lopez. This guy got knee barred, probably the nastiest knee bar I've ever seen in my life, including those that have been finished, right? Knee bars where people tap, they do not look near as nasty as this fucking knee bar. Look at the angle of Muhammad Mokaev's fucking knee, bro. He's genuinely hitting well. This looks like my cat's knee. It's inverted. It's going the wrong way, bro. And in the post fight, he said, "Yeah, I thought I was gonna tap, and then it popped, and then he loosened his grip, so I didn't tap, and then he tightened his grip again, and it popped some more." Like, he was just talking about, yeah, you know, my knee just popped in a bunch of places. I think he had to take off a year after this. You know, understandably, look at the left knee, how fucking swollen it is. If you guys ever had any sort of like ligament injury, imagine having that 6 times in one knee, bro. This guy's knee was gone, bro. Muhammad Mokaev's knee was gone all the way. But yeah, man, he's a fucking dog. His fight style's entertaining. He fights, you know, when he fights, you know, he's getting these positions. He's not just going to tap. He's not going to give up. He's not a quitter. He's entertaining, bro. That's just what it is. He's also frequently side questing. Again, we've seen this in the Armin playbook. We've seen Armin go on every podcast imaginable, fighting RAF, fighting whatever, go here, go there. Like, he's just been doing everything. And low-key, Muhammad Mokaev's on that timing. I think he also has his podcast. I know from the Mighty podcast that he has some sort of real estate business that he's part of. It's very interesting, you know, listening to this guy. He does sound like a very intelligent fellow. I've personally become a fan of him, not only as a fighter, but also as a personality. And yeah, man, we've seen him in Karate Combat. He got a win I think he finished the guy, right? We saw him get choked out against Armin Sarukian. We saw him in the grappling fight. I think ADXC is a grappling fight, even if they're wearing UFC shorts. This was definitely not in the UFC. And I think these side quests are really good for a fighter's career, for a fighter's rapport with, you know, all of his fan base, a fighter's rapport, you know, going towards the public, all of that. I think it's very interesting. Now, how does he face up? How does Muhammad Mokaev face up against the rest of the flyweights, right? I think he actually does pretty well. Now, this might be crazy for a lot of you guys, but I think, obviously, he beats Manel Cap. He's beat him in the past. I think he'd be able to do it again. He's not gone older. Manel Cap's actually gone way older. I think he beats Kyoji Horiguchi, not only because Manel Cap beat Kyoji, but also because Kyoji is a little bit older. He is a little bit slower, and you know, Muhammad Mokaev's going to abuse the fuck out of that. He's going to be Amir Ablazi because he's a fucking Amir Ablazi, right? He's going to be Brandon Royval. I think just it's going to be a speed issue with Royval. If he was having issues against Joshua Van, I do think Muhammad Mokaev is on that speed, especially on the feet. And Tatsuro Taira, I think out of all the ones I'm confident, you know, Loder Kavanaugh, I think he's just not good enough. He's just not experienced enough. But Tatsuro Taira, I think that's maybe one of the closer ones. But I think, you know, Tatsuro Taira excels on the ground, excels in submissions. I just don't think you're submitting Muhammad Mokaev, man. Like, you have to have that crazy weight difference on him. You gotta, because if you get to a joint lock, he's letting that shit break. Look-key, the ref's gonna have to stop that. I think choking him out is gonna be very difficult. Yes, Tatsuro Taira has very good back control, but the only times we've seen Muhammad Mokaev's like back get exposed was against that big ass motherfucking Armin Sarukian, right? So I don't really count that as a thing, but I think he beats all of the guys on screen. I think it wouldn't be relatively close. I think he'd actually probably decision most of these guys. And then for the guys I think he wouldn't be, or it would be a little bit more questionable, Alexander Pantoja, I tend to give him the respect. He is older. I believe he is 36, 37 now. But I do give him the respect. I'm wondering, I think it would be a very close fight. I think it would look a little bit like the Steve Erceg fight, except Manel Cap has a lot, like, he's definitely a lot safer on the ground than Steve Erceg. Against Asual Mabayev, you know, I love my Kazakh fighters. I think they're really good. This guy is genuinely looking like Muhammad Mokaev everywhere. I do think Muhammad Mokaev has better stand-up, and it's not really, you know, of course, it's not Asual Mabayev's strong point. So I would maybe edge it towards Muhammad Mokaev, but Asu is really, really good. And Joshua Van, I just feel like I've doubted him for too long. He's shown so much evolution. In that Taira fight, he looked crazy. He almost choked out Tatsuro Taira. That was fucking insane. He knocked him down like 3 times, finished him in the 5th. Man, it was just crazy. I won't doubt Joshua Van until he gives me reason to doubt him. Okay, in that Pantoja rematch, I'm still questionable. I used to think it's gonna be Pantoja easy, but now I don't know. But that's what it is, man. I do think Muhammad Mokaev takes it in most of these fights, and he does have an argument to be the best flyweight in the game. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about Muhammad Mokaev? I think he's actually one of the best fighters pound for pound. You know, obviously in the flyweight division, we've always had the most skilled fighters, but Muhammad Mokaev is a fucking killer, bro. Watch the highlights, bro. Do some tape study on that man and get back to me, all right? Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go watch Spain in the World Cup, bro. Let's see how far we go. Let's see if we can win against Austria. Vamos, España.